All right, got a fun one for you guys today. The University of Texas Longhorns baseball camps. I want to give you a review on that based on my experience, based on my son's experience. And so this particular camp, my son went to two of them. There were evening, day camps. In the evening, there were 2 hours or so, and it was specifically pitching. And so my son is in eighth grade, is the highest, the oldest age for this group. It goes from young players all the way into eighth grade. And so that is what I'm going to be talking about today: the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so when we're talking about these type of camps, and we're talking about camps in general, as you guys know, we cover a lot of them, is what are you looking to get out of the camp? And so for us and our family, and kind of what I do with player development, with what I know helps players a ton, what I wanted for my son is to be in an environment where he could see what the next level looked like. He could be around players that would be coaching him, that he had seen on TV, competing in the SEC, competing at high levels that he looked up to, that he could be in that environment. That was more important to me than anything. Just being on the field, hearing a little bit of faster paced instruction, different than maybe select teams or different, just peer group stuff. Now he's in a different environment where coaches are expecting a little bit more of him. The instruction is faster paced and the energy is high. Now, going into these camps, sometimes at different places, it's not like that. Players, the player helpers and the coaches, sometimes they're just there just to be there and just kind of fulfill and do some drills, do some things. I did not find that to be the case here. Just a ton of energy. Every single coach was motivated to help the players. They were loud, they were friendly, they were helpful. So very good in that regard. The coach that was running the camp, the camp coordinator, was very, very high energy and fast paced as well. And again, that's what I was looking for. I wanted him to see what that level looked like, and he provided that. Even though this is a youth camp, and sometimes it's not like that, he was able to provide that. I found that was great, and so I was very pleased. And so the 2 or 3 hour camp, might have been a 3.5 hour camp, was $175, a little pricey there, but I also felt that kept the numbers small. It kept the numbers, instead of having a couple hundred kids there, the numbers were a little bit smaller. So in that regard, it did accomplish that, I think, and that also allowed for, they had plenty of staff there, allowed for the groups to be relatively small. They did some indoor. They have an indoor facility there. They allowed the kids in groups to go in there and experience some drills. Parents weren't allowed to go in there. They could sit around in the stadium, as we did, and we watched and we enjoyed. But as they rotated through, there was plenty of space for them to take each group through all the different cycles and kind of go through each segment of pitching. And so they went through a bunch of different things. They went through mechanical, they went through mental, they went through some physical stuff. But again, for us, more than anything, it was for him to kind of see it all as a whole. You see the environment and kind of something to dream and to look bigger towards. I think environment is everything. I think if you're looking for your son to kind of have that and to see that, this is exactly the kind of thing that he needs to do. If you're looking for a one-on-one, coaching nonstop, where they're just constantly adjusting your player and those type of things, there's different avenues for that that they may even offer, but that's not what this venue was for. And so you're also not going to have the head coach and the pitching coach and the recruiting coordinator. You're not going to have those guys there at these youth camps. Typically, at least in this camp, they were not present. Your recruiting time in the summer and all those things come into play, where they're off doing things. They do have high school prospect camps, where that is a little bit different. I anticipate those guys are there. I've only heard positive things about those type of camps as well. So if your player is in high school, they do offer those throughout the year. If your player's a youth player, I know that this summer they had hitting camp specifically, they had pitching, and then they had a general camp. And so a lot of different pieces throughout the year. Highly recommend you guys check it out. Talk to you later.